Today, people think of containers more like garden art or an extra flourish, rather than instrumental pieces of a landscape design. But today, Maria and I want to inspire planted viewers to integrate containers into their gardens. Maria, how are containers usually used?
Yeah, so the most common way we use containers is often on patios, porches, balconies, but also they can create a formal entryway into maybe your walkway or garden spaces. They're really great on top of rock walls, popped next to ponds and docks.
They're helpful as solutions too for areas that can't be traditionally planted. What are some of those difficult spots?
For sure, especially if you have maybe a lot of hardscape or really poor soil conditions, a container can offer a space for the plants to thrive by giving it really great soil. If you have maybe too dry of soil, use a container instead of trying to dig through that hardscape, or it's too wet, use a container. Maybe you have a septic system or an old tree stump you're fighting with in your garden.
Very smart. So you like to use containers though as design features in existing garden beds.
I do. If you add containers to those, it kind of creates a dynamic like no other. I highly recommend it. You can create like a canopy of color with a beautiful Japanese maple or even another large garden tree in a huge pot.
Tight spaces are a great place for containers. How do you approach close quarters?
So maybe you have two different scenarios here. You already own the plant that you need to find a container for. So then you have to kind of hunt down a container that'll fit in that zone. Or you find the container and then find a plant for that area, taking into consideration your light requirements and soil conditions, things like that. I like to do it that way because then it will fit better. And maybe then you find a beautiful, narrow conifer that'll look good and grow there forever or for a while.
Yeah. One of the ways I like to use containers is if I've got a plant and I'm not sure where its forever home is. So I put it in a pot and I put it in that spot, and maybe I like it there or maybe the plant doesn't like it there.
Yeah. That is really nice too. It adds interest and height in maybe an uncommon area that you would have that. Then you can move it later on and you don't have to dig it up. That's always a bonus.
Well, I have a mature landscape, and I will often take a pot that's on the small size, put it in a container, and then I can give it some extra love and then bring it up to a size where then I know I have confidence I'll put it in the garden and it won't disappear and get, overtaken by something else.
Right, that's always a great idea because then it can grow, you can live there, you can see if you like it, then you can always move it because digging up a tree is no fun. I'm in the process of digging up a Leland cypress and it is not fun. So you can move it, but also it's okay because it's your garden and you should be able to dig up whatever you want and create it and make it your own space.
Yes. Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think editing your garden could be a whole other episode because it's so important.
Yeah.
What about hanging containers and plant stands in the landscape?
Yeah, I really like that too. It's really fun. It's a different way to add interest, maybe some height, bring the eye up. You can pop a plant stand in an uncommon area. But I also really like to do is hanging baskets in lower levels of deciduous trees. Kind of brings the eye there and adds a pop of color where you wouldn't normally suspect it.
I love that, Maria. Thank you for all your clever ideas.
Oh, you're so welcome. I really enjoy, solving landscaping challenges for people and helping them become creative in their own garden space. It adds their own personality and interest by teaching them how to have successful containers. It's really fun.
Local planted viewers can find those containers with personality by visiting Maria and other staff here at Valley Nursery in Paulsbo. Find hours and info at valleynurseryinc.com.
Thank you.